I'm learning that Troy Aikman, James Jones, that played wide receiver along with Mike McCarthy in his system, I guess in Aaron Rodgers' situation, are speaking highly of Mike McCarthy. And rightfully so, of course. Ex-players going to always speak highly upon their previous coach or what have you. But the Troy Aikman angle was sitting there saying that, hey, this is the best opportunity for Dak Prescott and for this offense. A good hire, a good move from Jerry Jones and staff, allowing Mike McCarthy to do his thing. And I look back at everything and I can say, yeah, they are right with it, because now you can say to yourself, yeah, this team is turning a corner. When I look at everything, especially from all of the news and the noise that we hear, we can say, man, this is a fantastic opportunity. Now, of course, this is all paper. We've seen this story before, but there's something different about this team before even becoming assembled. I just love the new philosophy as it relates to this coaching staff and what they're trying to do. Now, the hurdle would be for this offseason, do you pay Dak Prescott? That's the $1 million question. Or you can say $140 to $150 million question, whatever it may be. My thing is, just go ahead with the process, Cowboy Nation. I think that they gave him the money of 33 to 34 million or the 37 million, whatever it may be. I think they gave it to him. They said, hey, here's the offer. However, the years were just too long. I think that they're trying to squeeze him to a 7 to 8 year contract, which may sound good on paper, but Dak Prescott wanted to be like at least 3 to 4 years, maybe more so on the 4-year contract because of the new collective bargain agreement, and you never want to be stuck in a place where you're still under contract. I look at it differently. I believe in what Michael Irvin said earlier on one of the shows, I think it was a couple of days ago, is that Dak Prescott should go ahead, and I'm leaning on what Michael Irvin is saying. Dak Prescott should go ahead and accept that contract, ball out for those 4 years, and then relook at everything after those 4 years. Get your money. Go ahead. A bird in your hand is better than two in the bush. Go ahead and get your money, and then lobby for your next contract to be bigger than your first one. That's what I would look at it. I do know that his agency, from what he was saying, may have a situation with that. But to me personally, I don't think that Dak Prescott is the person that's sitting back saying, okay, I want more money, I want more money, I want more money. But I do believe that Dak Prescott is leaning on his counsel, leaning on what his agent is saying. And it's just too many things going good for this year for us to keep going back and forth with this. So I do know from what I'm hearing is that, from what I know for here, not saying I'm a czar or anybody that knows everything, I'm just giving you guys my speculation for the nation. But what I can say is that the contract was given to him. It's not about the money, it's about the amount of years that's on that contract. And I think that the contract years were like anywhere to 7 to 8 years, whereas Dak Prescott is looking for 4. It kind of sounds bizarre, especially when you made up to $4 million in your first 4 years or what have you. It sounds crazy. And I know a lot of people thinking, look, just get rid of somebody. And my thing is, the draft is right around the corner. Remember, I was saying earlier, if you can go out there and squeeze a veteran guy to put into this system, that would help out as well. But if you stand true to your board and the 17th pick and Justin Herbert is out there on the fray, if you stand true to your draft board, and I'm not saying get rid of Dak Prescott for Justin Herbert, but what I'm saying is that if you stand true to your board and he's the best player rated on your board, then you go get the best player available. That's just how it goes in my world, right? And there's some out there too. Me and Big Game James, we talked about it the other day on our show. So it just the draft is a fickle situation. Paying people is a fickle situation. You never know what they're going to do. Last year, we looked at the likes of, we paid DeMarcus Lawrence. He only had 5 sacks, but he did so many other things like stopping the run and these sorts of things. And of course, he was against double team and triple team. But that's what great players do. You're going to get that. So you can't fold up then. Now, you see what I'm saying? So we're having a certain expectations once you get the money. It never goes away from there. People are going to spotlight on you. The media is going to talk about you more. Just like Ezekiel Elliott, he got his bag. And all off season, we were sitting there saying, okay, how's he going to perform when he finally get a chance? Will he have to play into shape? And one can argue, although his numbers and his stats look pretty good, but those who can really see the game and watch the game, his burst and explosiveness just wasn't there all the way. So it's always a crazy situation in paying players, and especially when you drag it out for the whole world to see. And of course, clickbaits and news articles got to make their money, so they're going to continue to talk about it, especially when you are the Americans team. They're going to talk about you every day. Look, this is Super Bowl going on this week. There's more topics on the Cowboys than the actual Super Bowl team. So on various platforms. So they're not talking about Cincinnati. They got the first draft pick for the 2020 season. They're not talking about them, who they're going to pick up. They're not talking about the Eagles, who won the NFC East division. They're not talking about them. They're not talking about the Carolina Panthers. They're not talking about the Buffalo Bills. Everybody's talking about the Dallas Cowboys in the Super Bowl. And we're far away from it right now. Let that sink into your mental. All right, Cowboy Nation, that's all the time that I have for this beautiful day. I want to know your thoughts. I want to know how you all feel about Dak Prescott and his money, about what Troy Aikman said about Mike McCarthy being a great hire, a good hire, about Michael Irvin saying, hey, Dak, go ahead and sign that money. A bird in your hand is better than 2 in the bush, basically. Oh, I should have talked about Deion Sanders talking about there are no dogs on this defense. No dogs. Not a small dog, not a chihuahua. No dogs. And remember, I was talking about the honey badger. Look up Deion Sanders and what he said about the honey badger. I told you all, go out there and grab him. But everybody was saying, no, we don't need him. We got Xavier Woods. We got this guy. We got Jeff Heath. Told y'all, man, that honey badger's something else. And he wasn't that much money. He didn't cost that team that much money. So we need to do some proper evaluation, hopefully. And I mean just that this new, coaching staff and committee can get some dogs, some true dogs out there. They can snatch the ball away from the opposition, take it away. We'll see. That's been my time. I really thank you all for yours. And remember, you're listening to nothing but the best. Let's go. Let's go.